This is going to be a great time. This is one of my favourite tracks from Daryl Hall and John Oates. I can't go for that. It's a synth extravaganza. It's so many great things about listening to music and wanting to create music comes from Daryl Hall and John Oates, the most successful duo of all time. Don't come to me for facts, by the way. I'm here to listen to tracks. I'm really happy that there's some guys who want to drop some comments, and please do. I continue to write down some things there. Give me the truth. You guys are the experts on the trivia. I'm not here for news. I'm not here for trivia. I'm here to listen to tracks. But Daryl Hall and John Oates are fantastic duo, and they've got some of the best stuff. Like, they really do. I know there's a few guys watching, Bill, Keith, Lucas, that are really going to love this one. I'm pretty happy to be able to check this out. Let's get all the clay stuff out of the way. If you're watching on YouTube, subscribe. It's Luffigan if you're not watching on YouTube. Enjoy yourselves. Let's go and have a look at I Can't Go For That by Daryl Hall and John Oates. I can't believe it. The tracks were numbered when I received them as just 1 to 11. A lot of the times, so look, this is another thing. I'll just go back to the view for a sec. A lot of people request songs from me, and I can't always get access to those songs. So I've got, folders of stuff that I've had from previously, and then I've got some modern sources that kind of feed me a little bit, but I don't always have access to them. And some of the files that I do have access to are from games like Rock Band, Guitar Hero, etc. And so I try not to use those ones because they're not really in the scope of what I want to look at. I want to look more at those individual things, multi-tracks rather than stems. This is classified as stems. However, I don't really like using the Rock Band versions because they're just there's 4 tracks, 1 for guitar, bass, drums, and vocals, and it's kind of boring to me. But this one I had to make a semi-exception for because it's a little nicer than that. But let's go and have a look. I'll stop boring you. Let's go. Track 1. It looks like a double of track 2, so we'll find out what that is. But I can't wait. It's probably going to be the CR-76. 76 or 78? Okay, it's a left channel. I've already panned them because I've listened to this. Of course I have. I've been through this file. I've been looking at it. You can hear a bit of the bass through that too, which is interesting. What a just undeniable sound. Just some additional samples on top of that. Okay. Now, why is it important that we listen to this for this long, all right? Why is that important? This was one of the first drum machines that was kind of commercially sort of around. It's called the Roland CR-78, and I'm just going to bring over a little window here just so you can check this out on the wiki. The CompuRhythm CR-78 is a drum machine launched in 1978. Although primitive by later standards, CR-78 represented an important advance in drum machine technology at the time, in particular by allowing users to program and store their own drum patterns. Now, this was one of the first, drum machines you could store your own patterns in. Ironically, they just used a preset. They just used a preset. They get listed here. Daryl Hall and John Oates. There's a picture of the boys there. Our American pop duo, etc., etc. They get listed as famous users of this machine, including Phil Collins, Peter Gabriel, Blondie, Ultravox, Genesis, John Fox, etc., Gary Newman. So I just wanted you to check that out for a second because that's I think that's a pretty important little thing to check out. That drum machine is what a strange organ drum machine that's just been put into a little box, and these guys put it into this hit. Now, this famous bass line, want to hear it? I really do. And you can hear a bit of that. That sounds like an organ, though, doesn't it? Rather than a bass. And also you can hear a little bit of the other instruments in there. So I'm wondering if someone has created these they kind of sound a little bit headphoney, but they also could sound a little bit like someone has like jacked them out of a stem, out of the original file. But the rest of it's too crisp for me to believe that that's the case. I'll show you why. So I'm going to go these together as well. Listen to this. Now, you can't get a guitar sound that clean if you're taking that from an overall stereo file. Some people do upload stems to places for people to listen to that they've created themselves, and they never sound good. They always sound, you can hear pumping of the compression. You can't undo a mix, and you can't really isolate things 100%. But this has got to be from the original stereo mix. Or a video game or something. So I think we get the point on that one. Alright, so that's basically the same thing. That's all the guitar part is. And also, just think about these things when you're trying to come up with your own songs. That's one guitar part that just repeats, right? The rest of it, the song is in, we put those two things together. The drums. That's all you need. There's just a thumping bass line. Oh, and by the way, this bass line, listen to this one more time. Now, sound familiar? Of course it does, because it's I Can't Go For That by Daryl and John Oates. Now, I saw a little interview of Daryl Hall talking to somebody about the We Are The World recordings with Michael Jackson, Quincy Jones, and every other artist in the entire bloody planet at the time, where Michael came up to Daryl and said, Daryl, I love your song I Can't Go For That. I actually borrowed the bass line and modified it for Billie Jean. Listen. Boom, 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 boom. Sorry, boom. I can't do that low. But that. So that dun 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 dun, and apparently he borrowed the bass line from this to try to create Billie Jean. Which, I mean, gather your own inspiration from that. This is, these people kind of borrowing from each other. And Daryl at the time was like, "That's fantastic, Mike. That's great." He didn't go, "Oh, I'm going to copyright you. I'm going to try to steal the money of your things or whatever." But yeah, good sportsmanship, because these guys at the time were the most. The biggest duo on the planet. These guys were still the most successful duo going around, and Michael Jackson's career was on its way up. Who knew how big Billie Jean was going to be? We've heard that one. That's great. And then we're going to go through to the next section here, which I've already panned these for you, so just to save you a bit of time. Oh, no, we'll save that. That's too good for right now. We got a little bit of synth here. I might go the pads first, because I've already heard this again. Sorry, guys. Crank that up so I can see where it starts. Oh, there's also... That at the start normally leads me to believe it's a Guitar Hero or Rock Band file, because real songs don't have that. They're normally to a click, and that sort of stuff there is for like the kids' games. Okay, so you'd never normally notice this. You're hearing the Prophet 5 and a Rhodes. Is it a Rhodes or a Wurlitzer? Okay, that's really cool. And what's this next section got for us? Do anything that you want me to. I do almost anything that you want me to. But I can't go for You have any idea how hard that is to sing? Daryl Hall had an entire genre named after him, and they called it Blue-Eyed Soul because soul predominantly being music that black people used, and Daryl Hall was so good at it, they were like, this is Blue-Eyed Soul. This is different. There's something to it. This guy's got so much in him that he's passionate about his music that they just named a whole fucking thing after him. It's amazing. Oh, you can do. No. Wow. So there's some variety of organ going on there. And then we have that Prophet 5. I'll go back to hear the start of that Prophet. Wow. Always wanted to hear that isolated. Yeah, cool. I tried to recreate this once. Really good to hear it. And then we go that. I'll do anything that you want me to. Do almost anything. I can't go for that. No can do. Can't go for that. No. So that's the thing, there's some very basic and simple elements here that are making up this thing. I mean, obviously we've got some thick layers happening there, but realistically, quite simple. Really, really gorgeous and thick. And I believe, look, again, I'm not here for the facts, I'm here for listening, but that sounds like, well, it's featured in the video The Prophet 5, and they were famous for using it. Dave Smith, rest in peace, my brother. Isn't that sax? All right, that deserves a second listen. Just get your lips around that. Can do, man. Oh, can do. So, just makes me want to feel things. You know what I mean? If only I had feelings. Come on. I'm afraid if I put like drums in, I'm gonna get in trouble. But yes. I really want to, I need to play with synths more, but I really want to dial in super smooth lead sounds like this. Get ready. That. Super tasty. All right, we've had some fun. We're going to check out the vocal tracks. They're being mixed together. There's backup vocals and your main vocals in there, but let's go check them out. It's the time you've all been waiting for. That's not the vocal track. What am I talking about? Okay, here we go. For real this time.
Easy, ready, willing, overtime.
So pleasing.
Where does it you dare me to draw the line? You got the body, now you want my soul. Don't even think about it, say no go. Yeah, I'll do anything that you want me to. Yeah, I'll do almost anything that you want me to. Yeah, but I can't go for that, no. No can do, I can't go for that, no. No can do, I can't go for that, no. No can do, I can't go for that, can't go for that, can't go for that, can't go for that. I can go for being twice as nice. I can go for just repeating the same old lines. Use the body, now you want my soul. Woo, forget about it, now say no go. Yeah, I'll do anything that you want me to. Yeah,
You're so good.
do almost anything that you want me to.
Effortless.
Yeah, but I can't go for that. No, no can do. I can't go for that. No,
It's so good.
no can do. I can't go for that. No, no can do. I can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. Yeah.
That's a dream come true. I really dream come true. I should get that to make my dreams come true. I reckon making my nightmares come true is probably another copyright flag. But wow, just Daryl Hall's voice is so pleasing to me. It's got everything in it that I like in a singer. It's full of body and soul, and it's got some cut to it so you can hear everything come through. But I mean, I like a smooth singer too. I like smoother stuff. But this is just listen.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of flanging going on, something.
I'll do anything that you want me to. Yeah.
And of course you got John doing some backups here with Daryl.
But I can't go for that. No.
What a songwriting duo! Like, I mean, they've written so many just ridiculous hits. I always heard there's this joke about Hall and Oates, about Daryl Hall and John Oates, about Daryl Hall and John Oates. You know, Daryl Hall would be nothing without John Oates. Just like, what do you say that? It's like, well, John Oates wrote Electric Blue for Icehouse. What's Daryl Hall done? I'm like, hey, what about that whole show that he did called Live from Daryl's House? That was off the chain. That was pretty great. But I mean, who's comparing? These guys are a pair. These guys are fantastic. These are the Penn and Teller of music.
No can do, I can't go for that. No. No can do.
Wow.
I can't go for that. No. No can do, I can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. Can't go for that. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Go on, let's give it a shot. I can't get over it. It's so great. So while we're getting towards the end of this now, I just want to go over the tracks again and just have a quick listen to these drums from the CR-78. And I mean, that enough there. If you hear that, if you hear 1 second of this, you know what the song's going to be. That's how important these guys were to the CR-78 from Roland. These guys, the second you hear this, you go, oh, I can't go for that! Yeah! Enough time to hype everybody up and go, and everyone's just going, yes! Freaking out. It's going to be a great time. And again, that bass on its own sounds more like an organ. Possible. And then we got some guitar. And a little bit of Prophet 5 and some organ. With strings in the background. String synth probably from that Prophet. And organ in the background's gorgeous. Just that beefiness there. And yeah, vocals.
When does it stop? Where do you dare me to draw the line?
Just gorgeous.
You got the body, now you want my soul.
Also clear and crisp.
Don't even think about it, say no go. Yeah, I'll do anything that you want me to. Yeah, do almost anything that you want me to. Yeah, but I can't go for that. No.
Yeah, just fantastic. All right. If you're in, we're just about to finish anyway. So, wow, that's just, yeah, really, really great. I read somewhere that they used AMS delay and reverb on like a digital doubler sort of effect on Daryl's voice, but I'm not sure if it was on this particular track or if it was on something else I was reading. But again, I'm not here for the trivia. I'm just here to break the track down and just really get have a listen to these things as components and see what it takes. Because look, you can see how the song's sectioned out by these parts, right? There's a little part here, and then there's a gap, which is a different part. Then there's a part here, and then there's a gap. So we can see we've got an intro, and then we've got a non... It's like a non... chorus sort of thing. I don't know, what is that part? Just like a lead in, and then you've got this different part for your verse. You've got your chorus, and then you've got another verse, pre-chorus and chorus, and then you've got a solo, another pre-chorus to a chorus, and we've got another solo, and then we've got some chorus on the way out, like with a bit of modulation, a little bit of non-modulation, what's it called? Like improvisation over the top around that area. And so, like, we're just structuring this thing up like a little bit of a thing that we can see form this one piece together. I love that stuff. I reckon that's really, really cool. Sorry it wasn't an incredibly long one or very detailed, but what a good look at some individual tracks from Daryl Hall and John Oates with the song I Can't Go For That. So thank you all very much for checking this one out. I'm going to leave off the intro track for the end because it's quite a bit long, and you guys haven't been seeing the little things that I put up here that tell you which videos that you can go and check out on the channel as well. So thank you all very much. Enjoy yourselves. Have a glass of water, and don't forget to GFY.